Welcome back to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
Okay, so today we've got a really interesting mission ahead of us. We're digging into a specific sativa-dominant hybrid called Skittlez Head, apparently known for like maximum mental focus, but also this completely wild flavor profile.
Yeah, and you, the learner, you've given us some, let's say, unique source material for this one. Excerpts from something called the Cannabis Bible.
Right, the Cannabis Bible, I saw that. And the language is definitely elevated.
Oh, absolutely. Very high flown. We're seeing terms like sacrament, divine paradox.
The sermon shouted from a candy mountain, that one caught my eye.
That's the one. Look, it's colorful, but our job really is to cut through the poetry, right?
Exactly. Find the actual mechanics. We need to, like, translate the spiritual stuff into the hard fact.
What's the lineage? What's the real sensory experience? And crucially, what is this intense focus it supposedly gives? That's the goal.
Perform the alchemy, as it were.
Precisely. Finding the chemistry behind the creed and the heritage, this paradox, that's really ground zero.
Okay, let's get into that origin story then. The source paints it as a divine collision between two genetic lines that, I mean, on paper, you wouldn't think they'd create something balanced and focused like this.
It's a real odd couple situation, genetically speaking.
Right.
Pulling from, like, the super relaxing end of the spectrum and the really aggressive end.
So, side one, the House of Skittles. The source calls it the gentle prophet of the rainbow.
Hey, that's where the name comes from, obviously. And that super famous, sweet, fruity candy taste.
Pure sweetness, tropical vibes, and it's known for this, like, happy, calming euphoria, total definition of mellow, right?
Absolutely. But then you crash that into the other parent.
A house of headbanger.
The thundering titan, as the source puts it.
Which, okay, that sounds more like it. Headbanger's got some serious parents itself, Sour Diesel and Biker Kush.
Yep. That's some high-potency lineage right there. Aggressive stuff.
So wait, the gentle rainbow prophet basically smashes headfirst into a biker gang. That's intense. For a strain meant for focus.
Sounds wild, yeah.
Yeah.
And Headbanger's profile is totally different. It's known for that, pungent, sour, almost fuel-like smell.
And the effect. The source calls it a divine bang of pure, focused, cerebral energy. No messing around.
Right, pure sativa power. But what's so fascinating is how Skittlez Head, the offspring, pulls this off.
How does it manage it?
Well, somehow it channels that intense, soaring sativa energy from Headbanger, but wraps it in the Skittles flavor and, crucially, some of its calming influence.
Okay.
So it ends up sativa dominant, yes, but it's built differently. It delivers what the source calls that laser beam of mental lightning.
Without the anxiety attack that sometimes comes with that kind of intensity.
Exactly. That seems to be the key innovation here.
Okay, so how? Chemically, what's holding this sweet and sour powerhouse together? That must bring us to the senses, the aroma, the taste, the terpene testaments.
Yeah, the sensory profile is where it really announces this contradiction. The source describes this immediate clash when you first smell it.
What hits you first?
Apparently, it's this tidal wave of sweet stuff. Tropical fruits, berries, that unmistakable Skittles candy smell.
Yeah.
Kind of draws you in.
Okay, sounds nice,
But then, boom. Right behind it, you get hit with the Headbanger side. That loud, sour, diesel fuel harmony, as they put it.
So it's unavoidable, that pungent kick.
Totally unavoidable. It confirms you're dealing with serious sativa genetics. It's not just candy. It's like high-octane fuel that tastes sweet.
Huh, and the flavor follows suit.
Perfectly Mirza, yeah. The inhale is apparently all that sweet and sour fruit candy. A blessing, the source calls it.
Nice.
But the real story is the exhale. That's when you get this powerful, almost expanding, gassy kick.
The diesel again?
Yep, that pungent Headbanger signature. It really confirms the potency, lets you know what you're in for.
All right, now for you, the learner, this next bit is probably the most important, right? We need to get past just smells nice or tastes weird and into the why. The sources give us this breakdown of the dominant terpenes, the terpene choir, they call it. This is what's balancing the paradox.
Exactly. Let's start with the choir master, limon. Limon the luminous.
Okay, limon, often linked to citrus, right? Mood elevation.
Precisely. Functionally, it's associated with boosting dopamine activity. So it leads that bright, fruity, uplifting part of the experience.
Making sure the euphoria is directed towards happiness, not just frantic energy.
You got it. It sets a positive, elevated tone. Then you have caryophyllene.
Caryophyllene the comforter, the fiery preacher. This one sounds like the headbanger influence.
It is. It delivered that spicy, peppery, gassy kick, the pungent part of the aroma. But here's the really cool technical bit about caryophyllene.
What's it?
It's unique among common terpenes because it actually acts like a cannabinoid itself.
Really? How so?
It directly interacts with our endocannabinoid system, specifically the CB2 receptors.
Okay, and where are those mainly found? Not the brain.
Mostly outside the central nervous system, yeah. Think peripheral organs, immune cells. This is likely why the source says it soothes the body's temple.
Ah, so it's giving this subtle physical counterbalance, like an anti-inflammatory or pain-soothing effect, but body-focused.
Exactly. It acts almost like a physical brake or maybe a stabilizer for that intense mental effect. It keeps the engine running smoothly, prevents overheating, you could say.
That's a key difference. The soothing isn't psychoactive relaxation, it's more physical grounding.
Right. And that brings us to the third key player, myrcene. Myrcene the merciful, the great harmonizer.
Myrcene, often linked to more sedative effects, right?
Yeah.
Mangoes.
Yeah. It contributes to that fruity sweetness, definitely reinforces the Skittles side. But its main role here is probably synergistic.
How so?
Well, in high doses, myrcene can be sedative. But here, in a sativa-dominant blend that's already got limon pushing uplift, myrcene helps ground that energy.
So it stops it from becoming too scattered or anxious.
That seems to be the idea. It ensures the feeling is merciful and blissful, as the source says, instead of just chaotic jitters.
Wow. Okay, so it's this trio: limon for the happy mood, caryophyllene for the body grounding, and myrcene to smooth out the energy. That's quite a sophisticated balance.
It really is a chemical masterpiece designed to make intense focus usable.
So if that's the chemical foundation, what's the actual experience like? Let's get into the alchemist's guide to its blessings and caution.
Okay, the first thing the source emphasizes is the onset. A divine cerebral catapult.
Catapult? That doesn't sound subtle.
No, functionally it means we're looking at an extremely fast onset. It hits the front of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, almost immediately.
So basically zero ramp-up time.
Pretty much, which explains why it has this reputation for just instantly sparking motivation.
And the primary effects once it hits.
A powerful wave, yeah. Focused energy, uplifting euphoria, aimed squarely at the mind. The source claims it banishes procrastination and doubt.
Huh. An artisan's blessing, it says. Sounds like it's built for getting things done.
Exactly. And this brings us back to what kind of focus we're talking about. For you, the deep dive listener, this seems geared towards, well, what psychologists call convergent thinking.
Convergent thinking, meaning tasks that need detailed attention,
Right.
Logic, problem solving, editing, maybe coding, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Some pure sativas might make you brainstorm wildly, like divergent thinking, right? Loads of ideas, but maybe hard to nail one down.
Yeah, bouncing off the walls mentally.
Right. But this strain, because of those grounding terpenes we talked about, the caryophyllene and myrcene, it seems to offer intense channeled focus.
So you get the mental speed boost, but without jumping between 10 different ideas.
That's the idea. The euphoria seems directed towards completing the task at hand. Energy optimized for execution.
Okay, but I still have to ask. Something with sour diesel in its background, something that hits that fast. How is it not just wildly anxiety-inducing for a lot of people?
Yeah, the million-dollar question.
Is that Skittles parent really strong enough to tame the thundering titan of Headbanger?
Well, this is the heart of that contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the answer seems to be that dual action we touched on. While your mind is, catapulted, the body isn't forgotten. And that's where the Skittles heritage provides that crucial counterbalance.
How does that manifest?
The source talks about a light, happy, almost warm glow in the body. It prevents that intense mental acceleration from turning into, physical tension or feeling disconnected.
So it keeps you tethered, just enough to actually use the energy.
Right. Gives you the racing mind without the racing heart, maybe?
Interesting analogy.
Yeah, the caryophyllene helping with that peripheral grounding, the myrcene stabilizing that super fast onset. It makes the intensity functional.
Without those elements, that catapult could easily just trigger panic, especially in sensitive users.
Absolutely. Which leads us right into the final piece, the word of caution.
Right, the commandment from the source. Because that launch is so powerful, so swift. This isn't for everyone.
Definitely not for the novice. The advice is crystal clear. Because that cerebral effect hits so hard and fast, it's best for users who already have some experience.
Experience navigating strong sativa effects specifically.
Exactly. If you're prone to anxiety, the source basically says, approach this holy rocket with mindful moderation. know thyself, essentially.
Understand that velocity before you climb aboard. That immediate effect is the key thing to anticipate.
You need to know what that holy rocket feels like, yeah.
Okay. So let's try to synthesize all this. What's the ultimate takeaway for you, the learner, about Skittlez Head?
Well, you've got this intensely sweet, almost dessert-like flavor profile.
Right.
But functionally, it acts less like a relaxing dessert and more like a high-performance cognitive tool.
So its core identity is really about successful synthesis, making opposites work together.
I think so, yeah. It kind of proves that really focused functional states can come from blending contradictory inputs. It takes Headbanger's raw power and gives it, I don't know, a steering wheel, a comfortable seat, thanks to the Skittle side and that really specific terpene mix.
Limon for mood, cariflane for body, myrcene for stability.
That's the formula. It's energy,
Yeah.
but energy optimized for actually doing something specific.
You know, the biggest insight for me here might be that idea that complexity can sometimes lead to clarity. The complex lineage results in a very clear, focused intention.
That's a great way to put it.
So here's the final thought, the provocative question for you to maybe chew on. Outside of this specific example, how often do our most powerful tools, whether for creativity, focus, problem solving, arise not from seeking some kind of pure state, like pure relaxation or pure intensity, but actually from blending two seemingly opposing forces, like sweet relaxation and roaring intensity?
Interesting.
If you start looking maybe at high-performing teams or art or even just problem solving in your own life, maybe you'll start seeing these Headbangers and Skittles pairings everywhere.
Tension leading to functional synthesis.
Exactly. Proof that sometimes the most balanced and focused results come from successfully managing contradiction.
A powerful idea. Definitely something to think about.
Absolutely. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Catch you next time.
What was I saying? The fan, the click, the hum, so heavy.